Welcome back. There's a lot of speculation, sir, about the appointments into the cabinet of the incoming national government. What, in your view, should be the criteria for consideration in selecting ministers?
I think it's just one word: competence. Because, like I've had to argue as a governor of Edo State, sometimes the skills you need to be able to persuade voters to vote and to win election, they are not exactly the skill required to run an efficient economy and deliver on your electoral promises. So whereas it is, many will expect that I have delivered my area, therefore I am entitled. There's a sense of entitlement. However, the president will need to emphasize that for us to deliver on the message of change, you will need competent hands to drive those changes.
So if someone has sort of used their resources, their time, and they've gone out and they've campaigned vigorously.
Again, I need to explain. First, the challenge is how to deliver on the people who voted for us. Who are these people? The very ordinary Nigerian. And President Buhari's constituency is the constituency of those who shout and label him a Gaskia, the constituency of the masses.
As far as you're concerned, they're the priority, that's what you're saying.
Now, to deliver on those ones, the president will need very skillful hands because you need skill. Nobody is going to give you what he doesn't have. But the good news is that across the 96 states, there are very competent hands.
Because that's the next issue. The Constitution says there has to be a spread.
Yes, there is no part of the country where you can't find brains, resourceful people, honest people, intelligent people, highly productive people. But how do you get to know everybody? It's impossible. And so consultation is a word. But the good thing is that however you generate your names, as the appointing authority, you'll have opportunity to cross-check not just paper CV, but in my view, even to interrogate and interact with people who have been nominated to you or who have been recommended, and make up your mind as to whether they are competent, and if they are, in which field, in which aspect of governance are they likely to be able to add value the most. We also have to avoid opportunism. You can't have people who sat on the fence, who were sending their children to London and themselves fly to London because they have no faith in the country. And they have multiple passports. And if this one fails, they have another place to go to. And now suddenly they come back. And I mean, you have to, there's also issues of responsibility at the end of the day. People who work out for APC, who went promising, they also have a sense of duty that we can't afford to fail. The guy who is not accountable doesn't share the same level of responsibility.
Now,
so the issue of responsibility must come in.
Now, there are a lot of rumors also making the rounds that things are unraveling in the APC. What is going on? Why is it that there's this news out there that things within the APC family are not well and you are not even in government yet?
I think you have to understand the media. First is that once the elections, during the electioneering campaign, there were more headlines than were spaces available. Now, with the close of elections and the first few days of post-election reactions, the news industry has died down. So you move from quoting politicians what they promised during post-election and to that of try to speculate what is going on in inner cycle. Now, if I'm just coming from Asiwaju House, somebody reported that he saw Comrade Oshiomhole at Asiwaju House and he understood he went there to lobby to be Senate president. That is his own imagination. I think you also have to appreciate that. Because APC is
Isn't it true that some people are actually feeding journalists information? Because I have colleagues in the media and they tell me people call them and tell them APC.
No, people feed both truth and untruth.
The governor of Kano State and also Senator-elect Alhaji Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso He issued a warning a few days ago saying that if the APC is not careful, the PDP may actually come and steal the Senate presidency from right under their nose. Presumably he raised this particular flag because he has seen and heard enough to cause concern about the ability of the APC to reach a consensus on this particular important position.
I don't think he has said anything that is outside the ordinary. You know, it's a timely warning. He himself having been elected to the Senate. But there's no question, when you have 2-3 persons, there are all sort of things that Kwakwanso pointed out, that look, you need to guide the process, and this is the tricky aspect. The geopolitics of the country has to be serviced at this stage. And the challenge of democracy is how you encourage people to vote, and why doing so, to be conscious of the need to ensure that certain sensitivities, geopolitical issues are settled.
Which region do you in particular support for the Senate presidency and then for the speakership of the House of Representatives?
No, this is better if I have feelings. First is that I'm not a member of the National Assembly. I have not been so privileged to be so elected, and therefore I do not have a voting right. But if I have my personal wishes, they are wishes I should share with friends who are
and not with the rest of Nigeria.
And in the National Assembly. I do not think it is helpful for me to share it with you. When you become one of the caucus members of the APC, we can discuss at that level, knowing that it is about caucus meeting. We are arguing over how to, balance, put the players. Every coach faces that challenge. You have so many good strikers. Which one do you play in the first half? Which one do you withdraw at what point? This is very, very healthy, and I'm quite happy about it.
Let us take a break. When we return, we focus on Edo State, which is governed by Comrade Oshiomhole. Don't go away.